First at 5 o'clock, it is a Storm Team 6 alert day. We are tracking storms in part of our viewing area, although in Indianapolis right now, the sun is still shining.
Storm Team 6 meteorologist Kyle Mounts is here. And Kyle, which areas are getting hit with this?
Yeah, it's really areas around Lafayette, Monticello that have had some thunderstorms, some pretty heavy rain throughout the afternoon and evening. Storm Team 6 radar will show you where we've got those thunderstorms continuing to track. And as they move over some of the same areas, we may have some areas of flooding. So watch out for that. Of course, you want to avoid any flooded roadways, and also notice a whole lot of lightning in this, stretching from around Lafayette through Logansport and into Peru. Still some of those thunderstorms in the Monticello area, and you can see we've got a flash flood watch here that's going to continue into the overnight hours for portions of Benton and also White counties. So as we have the evening hours, those showers and thunderstorms are going to move out. I think minimal impacts on any of the football games tonight. But notice as we go into the overnight hours, we start to see another line of showers and thunderstorms, but still affecting areas mainly along and north of Lafayette to, say, Hartford City, possibly Muncie line here as we go into our Saturday morning. The other side of this story, in Indianapolis, that for the 23rd time this year, rain-cooled upper 60s there in the Kokomo area. Your Friday football forecast.
An issue impacting anyone who drives through Muncie and Delaware County. Trains are stopping and blocking several intersections for up to 4 hours at a time.
RTV6's Stephanie Wade finally heard back after emailing the train company responsible for the stopped trains again this week. She's in Muncie tonight with why this is happening.
Last week, we told you about first responders not being able to get to emergencies quickly, school buses dropping kids off late to class. And now we had another group of people reach out to us who rely on the traffic to keep moving to do their job.
The clock is our Bible. We go by it, and the routes are scheduled. Anytime there's a deviation, then that leaves the riders out in the cold. They don't know, why isn't the bus here?
Next year marks Ernie Bertram's 22nd year as a bus driver. He says MITS, or the Muncie, Indiana Transit System, is short on drivers because people don't want to deal with the delays and detours caused by the stopped trains blocking streets. But at the same time, he says they're also seeing an increase in passengers for folks with disabilities or the elderly who rely on this transportation.
Don't block so many intersections. Vital intersections to our city, vital intersections straight to the hospital are blocked for half an hour at a time.
Norfolk Southern Corporation, the train company mainly responsible for the stopped trains in Muncie, finally got back to me this week, saying might require a train to stop or slow, temporarily blocking a crossing. They apologized for any inconvenience, saying they're, quote, working closely with our transportation team to review local operations in Muncie to try to alleviate the problem for drivers coming up at 6. Working for you, Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
Steph, thanks for keeping on that. And if a train blocks a crossing for an extended period of time, people can call Norfolk Southern Police at 800-946-4744. This number is on the emergency notification sign posted at every highway rail grade crossing. And it is our mission to work for you. If you don't think you are getting the results you deserve, reach out to us at workingforyou@rtv6.com.
They may be facing charges, but they say they were the victims of a ruse, and they claim they were tricked into adopting an adult. Today, an Indiana couple accused of abandoning their adopted daughter in West Lafayette appeared in court. Michael Barnett, along with his ex-wife Christine, who is not in this video here, faced neglect charges following a 5-year investigation that accuses them of leaving behind an adopted girl from the Ukraine in 2013. They had also legally changed her age from 8 to 22 before renting her an apartment and leaving her there, investigators say. Michael Barnett's attorney says his client thought they were adopting a child at the time, but believes the person they adopted was actually an adult.
We have no indication that this individual has ever been honest about what her true age is. To say they were shocked would be an understatement. They are still bewildered as to why they're even placed in this position.
We were unable to speak to Christine Barnett today, but her defense is also based around the idea that the girl was not the age she said she was. Prosecutors have said the couple abandoned a child, and there are plans to interview her as part of the court proceedings. We'll let you know how this unfolds. A suspect in the 2018 murder of Boone County Deputy Jacob Pickett is pleading guilty to all but one of the charges he faced. 23-year-old John Ball, who investigators say provided the gun used by Anthony Baumgart to kill Deputy Pickett, accepted a plea deal at a hearing today. That's according to the Boone County prosecutor. As part of the deal, the murder charge was dropped, and Ball pleaded guilty to 5 drug-related charges and a charge of providing a firearm to an ineligible person. He will be sentenced on December 11th.
The developer behind a proposal to redevelop the site of the former GM stamping plant on Indianapolis' southwest side into a mixed-use development has dropped those plans. That developer will now pursue selling the property. In an emailed statement, Ambrose Property Group's founder and CEO said the company plans to focus its business on e-commerce and industrial real estate. As a result, they will sell the property where the GM stamping plant used to sit. Developers initially said the site would turn into a mixed-use development called Waterside. It was supposed to be home to apartments, restaurants, stores on the 103-acre site. Again, those plans have been dropped, so the future of the GM stamping plant site is once again unclear.
On his 2-day visit to the Hoosier State, Vice President Mike Pence made 3 stops across Indiana today. Vice President Pence first went to Southside Elementary School in Columbus, Indiana, where he signed a famous guitar. The guitar has also been signed by Hoosiers Dan Quayle, Tony Stewart, Florence Henderson, and others. The Vice President then went to Camp Atterbury, where he spoke to members of the Indiana National Guard. The Guardsmen are about to be sent to Kuwait. In his last public event of the day, Pence visited the Neurodiagnostic Institute, a state mental health facility. He briefly discussed gun violence.
We also believe, the President and I believe strongly, that part of the answer is a renewed commitment to mental health in the United States. And I'm incredibly proud that Indiana is leading the way.
Vice President Pence did not take questions from reporters at any point throughout the day.
Meanwhile, in Washington, the whistleblower complaint is at the center of the impeachment inquiry that President Trump faces. Democrats are accusing the Trump administration of a cover-up, and the president is still furious over the release of the whistleblower's complaint. ABC News' Rachel Scott following every development for us tonight.
A rattled Washington still reeling from the whistleblower complaint that's now triggered an impeachment inquiry into President Trump.
The president has engaged in serious acts of wrongdoing.
As lawmakers prepare for their next recess, a White House official appears to have confirmed a key detail in that complaint, centered around efforts to keep hidden details of a call President Trump had with the leader of Ukraine.
This is a cover-up.
According to a summary of that call, the president repeatedly urged the Ukrainian leader to investigate his potential 2020 rival, Joe Biden, and his son, the nation's top intelligence official, caught in the tug-of-war between the White House and Congress.
This appears to be the first intelligence community whistleblower complaint that has ever been withheld from Congress.
It is, in fact, as far as I'm concerned, unprecedented.
The whistleblower said White House officials told them that they were deeply disturbed by the call, raising concerns they had witnessed the president abuse his office for personal gain. Democrats say that complaint gives them a roadmap for their impeachment investigations. Republicans taking issue with the whistleblower's credibility.
The fact is that he was unwitnessed anything.
The House Intelligence Committee plans to continue their investigations through the congressional recess. The president, behind closed doors, venting his frustrations, as seen in this video by Bloomberg.
Who's the person that gave the whistleblower the information? Because that's close to a spy. You know what we used to do in the old days when we were smart, right? With spies and treason, right? We used to handle it a little differently than we do now.
And as for that call with Ukraine, the president has insisted it was perfect and accused Democrats of defrauding the American public. Rachel Scott, ABC News, Washington.
Well, the Pacers are getting back to work. Tomorrow, the team begins their training camp with a trip to India next week and 2 preseason games in Mumbai.
And there's several things to get used to for this team, a ton of new names, and the fact that Victor Oladipo won't be in the lineup for a few months.
RTV6 Sports Director Dave First was there as the team came together for the first time.
championships over here. Huh?
Came to the good side, huh?
They are, without question, the new-look Pacers. New faces and new places, 9 to be exact, from Malcolm Brogdon, T.J. Warren, and more. Nate McMillan's back in a summer that was, frankly, a blur.
I was telling someone, it was going really slow in May and June, and then I seemed like I blinked, and here we are in training camp.
Ladies and gentlemen, what's good? Everybody good? Yep. That's good. I'm great, too.
Also back is Victor Oladipo. 8 months removed from that ruptured quad tendon, he'll take part in some of the training camp drills. His rehab continues, and so does that positive Vic attitude. With a thing he's really working on?
My mind. With rehab, it pretty much speaks for itself. It's pretty strategic, but your mind is another muscle that you need to work on through this process. So for me, that's what I'm focused on, is building my mind to be at game shape.
What's up, bro?
Philosophical and on the fast track for a comeback. When that picture-perfect finish is really the only question.
I don't anticipate Victor being available for a while, and I don't really know what a while is.
We got other great players, Jeremy Lamb, T.J. Warren, guys that are going to fill in for him while he's gone. But when he gets back, he's an all-star. He's a great player, so I'm excited to get on the floor with him.
I believe we got very special pieces, and I believe we have a chance to be a very special team. And it's going to be up to us how special we want to be.
Vic says you'll like this year's team, and if that's the case, you might love next year's team and the year after that and the year after that. This is a very young team, all these guys with multi-year contracts still left, and timing's of the essence. That home opener comes up October 23rd, less than a month, against the Pistons. At the Fieldhouse, Day First, RTV6 Sports.
Thanks, Dave. Still ahead at 5:30 on RTV6. Anyone with a cat or dog gets licked by their pet at some point, but we're finding out why that could be more dangerous for certain people.
And up next here at 5, more construction this weekend that you need to know about, what areas you'll want to avoid. Kyle.
And we continue to track some heavy rain from around Lafayette through the Peru area and even a downpour in Kokomo. I'll let you know if these rain chances are going to carry over into your weekend. You're watching RTV6 News at 5.
Tonight at Rubens Mattress and Furniture.
New at 5, a Greenfield man is accused of driving drunk and hitting a pedestrian, leaving the victim severely injured. The Greenfield Police Department says the crash happened near the intersection of East Mackenzie Road and North Brandywine Street in Greenfield last night. 39-year-old Jeremy Thompson is accused of hitting a 71-year-old woman. Medics airlifted her to a local hospital in critical condition. Thompson is officially charged with causing catastrophic injury when operating a motor vehicle while intoxicated.
Police are still investigating a crash that left one person dead on the southeast side of Indianapolis. This crash happened around 8 o'clock last night. Officers found a man dead near Shelbyville Road and 5 Points Road. Investigators say he appeared to be the driver of a motorcycle. Police believe the SUV hit the motorcycle, but they say the investigation is in its early stages. Now a traffic alert. INDOT says the Meridian Street ramp closures from I-70 downtown will now be in effect until Sunday morning. Those ramps were supposed to reopen this morning, but that did not happen. The ramp closures include I-70 westbound and eastbound to Meridian and Meridian to I-70 westbound and eastbound. Contractors are repairing winter damage. Again, those ramps should now reopen Sunday morning. Expect ramp closures at a different location starting Monday. The ramp from eastbound I-74 to southbound I-465 will close nightly starting Monday and won't fully reopen until Thursday, October 3rd. INDOT crews will repair bridge joints and will patch the bridge deck, so the ramp will close between 8 p.m. and 6 a.m. daily. Then on Monday, October 7th, INDOT will shut down the ramp from northbound I-465 to I-74 westbound. That nightly closure will again be from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. until Thursday, October 11th. Friday is finally here, and that can mean only one thing. It is time for Friday Football Frenzy and all of the exciting action on the field across central Indiana. The Pike High Red Devils are getting ready to take on the Warriors of Warren Central in a highly anticipated MIC battle.
And our Aaron Litt shows us why the home team is wearing a special pop of color.
As Warren Central students chant before the matchup against Pike High, we are WC. They're wearing pink to support breast cancer awareness.
For me personally, it's very special. I feel like cancer is a big problem.
Bringing breast cancer awareness to the forefront through sports is what Warren Central's athletic director says is education-based athletics.
It's beyond just coming to school every day, and we want to make sure that they understand it's about giving back to our community.
Students appreciate the mix of football and raising funds for a good cause.
Very special. I mean, every time we come and turn up, we talk about cancer, Warren, you know, we smack every other team. We're the East Side.
And as the reigning state champs, they hope to be the best on and off the field, together as one.
Cancer is something that has a negative effect, and we want them to understand that if we come together as we do in athletics, as we come together in life, and fight this battle together, we can make a difference.
Making a difference in the community while embracing the joys of Friday football frenzy. Working for you, I'm Erin Lish, RTV6.
By the way, Warren Central will host Pike tonight at 7 o'clock. Thank you, Erin, for that. A few of the many big names that we're covering tonight, they include Cecina at Lutheran, Martinsville at Whiteland, Mooresville at Franklin, and North Central at Carmel, and Avon at Fishers. Just a few of those games that we'll have for you tonight.
And the Indianapolis Colts will put their 2-game winning streak on the line when the team takes on the Oakland Raiders Sunday. The good news, the Colts will be playing in the friendly confines of Lucas Oil Stadium. Kickoff is set for 1 p.m. on Sunday. Hopefully that roof can be open. That's always fun.
Could be. Now, last weekend it could have been too. I think they factor in the heat. So temperatures are warm enough that I think they kept it closed to keep it a little more comfortable in the stadium. So that could be a factor. Again, we're getting back into a bit of a heat wave. We got a few thunderstorms out there right now on Storm Team 6 radar. Much of central Indiana, though, just dealing with that summer heat that returned in full force today. Right now, we've got some lightning, some thunderstorms there across areas of Tippecanoe County, just sliding to the southeast of Lafayette. This extends through Howard County around Kokomo and also Peru. But as we put this in motion over the last hour, you can see that band of heavy rain not moving a whole lot. So the biggest threat here is going to be where we could have some localized flooding. There is still that marginal risk, though, across northwestern areas where we could have an isolated storm pulse up with some gusty winds and hail. But I think that is a very low threat at this point. As you get your weekend started, make sure you've got that Storm Shield app. So if there are any alerts that are issued, they'll be sent right to your phone, no matter where you are. And you'll also have that radar right at your fingertips. So here are the temperatures. You can tell where we've had the rain and the increased cloud cover. Temperatures in the 60s and 70s. Meanwhile, it's 89 degrees right now in Indy, 91 in Bedford, and Richmond coming in at a toasty 85 degrees. And those temperatures, they started off in the 50s, some areas in the 40s this morning. Not going to be the case as we go through the overnight and our Saturday morning. Temperatures only making their way into the upper 60s to around 70 degrees early on Saturday. 66 in Rockville, upper 60s in Greenwood. Columbus coming in at 68 to start off your Saturday, and we'll have a mix of sun and clouds, a little more cloud cover out there, but that's not going to slow down those temperatures from warming. Already 80 degrees at noon, 85 as we get into the afternoon, and there's a small chance for some rain as we go through our Saturday. This is 6:30 in the morning, and again, it's really going to favor areas north of Interstate 70 where we could have an isolated shower or storm. Even if you see it, it's not going to last very long here and have much of an impact on your weekend plans. Temperature-wise, we'll make it to 86 degrees on Saturday. Sunday, 87. Again, just an isolated shower or thunderstorm here. And then we get into some record territory early next week with our temperatures. As we look in the 7-day planning forecast, 91 on Monday and Tuesday. Not only would that be records for the days, that would also tie the all-time October record high temperature. As we go through time, though, you notice it's a fairly dry forecast once again, but fall comes back in a big way. By next Friday, some areas may not get out of the 60s.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
dramatic changes.
Yeah. That's right. All right. Thanks, Kyle, for that. Hey, when you think of sports-related injuries, you think of contact sports. We'll show you why gamers, yes, people playing video games, are getting more injuries and what you can do to protect the gamer in your life. You're watching RTV6.
Days from 4:30 to 7.
Chances are you know a kid who loves to play video games.
I mean, young adults too. And that is part of the rise in popularity with eSports. You know people who play sports video games in leagues, but that popularity could come with a price.
It's not just contact sports where you have to worry about injuries. As more people get into eSports and playing video games in general, injuries are becoming more of a reality for gamers.
Probably not going to cause permanent damage, but you may cause some disability, some headaches, some sleep disturbance, some chronic pain in your elbow, hand, or wrist.
Doctors say if you're a gamer, you can keep yourself healthy by doing hand, finger, and wrist stretches that can help prevent carpal tunnel.
Also, pay attention to your posture. Check your monitor settings and take frequent breaks to reset your eyes, and make sure you get up and move. All new at RTV6 at 6 o'clock, the Justice Department weighs in on a lawsuit filed against the Archdiocese of Indianapolis after a teacher in a same-sex marriage is fired. We have that for you tonight at 6.
But first on the Now, Indy Forbidden Love, why some parents believe an Indiana school wants to ban dating. You're watching RTV6.